you, Senator Inhofe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You've answered really most of my questions. Let me just ask for clarification. When Ghani last January and then again last week reemphasized that we may want to re-examine our withdrawal plan, I think, as I understand it, you have a list of options that that you are prepared to give the administration to look at. Is that what you're referring to?
So President Ghani has asked on different occasions to continue to have coalition forces. I have already provided my recommendations for a force posture post-2016. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you're not in a position to share any of that.
Say again, sir?
You're not in a position to share any of that with this committee at this time.
Sir, as I said in my opening statement, I provided those to the leadership. You know, I have to be able to give my leadership the opportunity to make those decisions without...
In February, when you were before this committee, you outlined 6 criteria, 6 expectations. I wouldn't expect you to have those in front of you right now, but can you recall any of those 6 that have not met your expectations? And then, for the records, kind of outline each one of them and how they're coming on this on that score sheet.
Sir, like you, sir, I don't remember those 6, but certainly if I could take that for the record and we'll reply back to you. Yes, sir.
That would be fine. In our last hearing, you stated the Afghan Army and National Police have shown that they can win battles on their own, overmatching insurgents wherever and whenever to challenge. You also estimated that it would be unlikely that Taliban would be able to overmatch them on the battlefield in 2015. How has that estimate changed, or has it?
So I think, again, that this fighting season we knew was going to be very, very tough. I still believe that the Taliban cannot overtake the government. They will not overthrow the Afghan government. They will continue to challenge the Afghan security forces as the Afghan security forces continue to grow. They've stretched the Afghan security forces. As you look at the map that Senator McCain referred to, those areas up in the north, or some areas up in Badakhshan in the far northeast, Faryab, Kunduz, are areas in the past that we had not seen as much insurgent activity. But again, all the enemy has to do is go in and cause terror, fear, and then come back out. May not try to occupy or control, but they're really trying to stretch, I think, the Afghan security forces. Their main goal continues, I believe, to be Helmand, Kandahar, the heartland of the Taliban. And so as they pull forces from maybe the south or the east to the north, it could make the Afghan security forces vulnerable. In the south, the Afghan security forces understand this. They have a campaign plan for this fighting season. They have a campaign plan of what they want to do during the winter in preparation for the next fighting season. So I think they understand this and continue to work to try to improve.
You know, I and probably every member of this committee have been over there and have observed the advancements that are made by the Afghans, and I think they're real. But Senator Reid, in his opening statement, said something about the will to fight. Has there been a deterioration in the will to fight on their behalf?
So we've seen on 2 occasions here in Kunduz with the police, and probably northern Helmand with the police, that you had some members lose that will. They're taking a hard look on why that happened, whether it was poor leadership, which I believe was a big part of that, whether they'd just been in the fight too long and not been able to rotate. Again, that's probably 2 battalions worth out of 100+ battalions. For the most part, I see the Afghans continue to have the will to fight. And the places, as we've looked at, that have come out, a lot of those have been actually police that were untrained police, that were hired, had not gone through the requisite training, had been put out very hastily out onto checkpoints that may not have been supported by other forces. And when they took fire, they felt they may not have been supported, and they left. So, but that is not the majority of the Afghan. It's far from the majority of the Afghan forces, and I think they continue to learn from that, and they've made adjustments.
Right. Thank you, General. And then lastly, you did already address the abusive behavior or the accusations over there, but the press reports also that they said, quote, are happening also on our basis. You didn't say anything about our basis. Is there anything that you'd share with us as to whether or not the accuracy of that accusation?
So again, I think the thing that started this piece was a media article, and it was citing cases from 2010, 2011, and 2012. I've reiterated my policy in writing to all of my folks. I have not seen anything on our basis, sir. Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.